Hey there, Pisces. Welcome to your reading for the week of June 5th. We're just going to jump right in here, Pisces. And in your current general energies, let me actually just move that. You have the Treasure Island card, which is a card of like as above, so below. So it can represent manifestation or manifesting things into your life. It can also represent not really like needing to give up, although I was about to say don't give up, and look, it says do not give up because something did not work right away. So clearly, Pisces, you need to not give up. But where I was going with that is that Treasure Island card, it kind of in that deck represents not really not needing to give up, but needing to realize that like success is much closer than it may seem. And I always say one of my favorite books of all time, The War of Art, in that book he says we experience the most resistance when we are closest to our goal. And so I kind of feel that feeling for you, where you're actually much closer to accomplishing something that you want to accomplish, whether it's a goal, wish, or dream, doesn't matter. But I really feel it's critically important that you obviously don't give up, because, some good things are like coming in for you here. And obviously if you give up, then you're not going to accomplish what you need to accomplish. I also have like a message of like needing to keep something simple here. Sometimes I think us Pisces, we are, it's like we are notorious for having imposter syndrome, like feeling we're not good enough to, accomplish something or have something in business or whatever. And so what I would say here is if you're like launching a business or doing something in your business or thinking about starting, a new YouTube channel or whatever you want to do, doesn't matter. I feel like you need to simplify things. It's almost like I would be very careful of over delivering. I think like I'm a big fan of over delivering, but I don't think we should over deliver. And, it's popping into my head where, I think things should be kept simple. It's like if you're doing, it's like I see this all the time on YouTube where it's like people will do a video and they'll talk about 900 things in the video, which is always a bad idea because it confuses people. So I feel like there's a need for kind of like simplicity, whatever you're thinking about. But this could just be anything. I mean, this could be like in love, for example. You have an amazing love reading here, so especially in this last row. So if you want love, it could just say keep it simple. Don't overcomplicate love. It could say the same thing about your health or your business. You have the Seven of Pentacles, and for some reason is what I was going to say, I have the word experience popping into my head. So it's like you have a lot of experience, or you've gained a lot of experience over the past many years, and I kind of feel like that's why this is saying don't give up. It's like you've gained a lot of this like knowledge and wisdom, and now you can use it to make money or to get a job or to find love, whatever it is. And it's this reading saying like don't give up now. You have the Eight of Swords, again feeling resistance. I feel even when we go this way, we go Four Cups to the Hierophant. It's like you're not seeing the results you're hoping to see right now or haven't been up until this point. And the Hierophant wants to bless you. That's like the universe. He's making this symbol with his hands here. It's like he wants to bless you with something, but I feel like you need to keep pushing here, Pisces, and not give up. And I always say this to you, but I don't know. I'm sorry. It's the time that we're in. So many Pisces are like, I'm tired, and they leave me these comments. Like, trust me, I get it, but it's like if you give up, then you're never gonna get there. With the Star card, you have the King of Wands here. Yeah, needing to be bold and assertive, really needing to go for something. What kind of gave me this feeling in the beginning of the reading is the Eight of Wands. Eight of Wands is a card that I consider to be a card of momentum. Eight of Wands kind of says, when you get something good going, keep going. I know that sounds obvious, but I've seen it happen many times in my own life and other people's lives where it's like they get something good going in work or business or whatever, and they don't keep putting in the same, enthusiasm that they did when they started. It's hard to maintain enthusiasm about things, especially as time goes on, right? It's like, it's like if you want to make like $1,000 a day, it's like once you make that first $1,000 a day, after a few months, it just doesn't hit the same, right? It's like we always will want more. And I'm not saying that we shouldn't be happy with what we have, but it's like hard to kind of keep that momentum going, right? And so I feel like that's what a lot of you need to work on here. It's almost like I get more of that yo-yo energy for you, Pisces, where it's like you go up, you go down. This is life, right? We go up, we go down, and things are not always the same, but I feel like you could be creating more ups than downs with this energy. It's like the universe wants you to be there, but it's almost like you have to step into that, king energy. Like, it's not easy to be a king, right? Like, we're talking about in the times of kings, right? So it's like not easy to be at that level, but you've done the work, you have the knowledge, you have the wisdom. It's like the universe is saying, like, hey, you can handle being a king if you wanted to, whatever that means for you, right? Some sort of accomplishment, wish, goal, dream, whatever. But it just is going to require consistent effort, and I feel that's what this reading is saying. With the Seven of Pentacles, you have the Ace of Cups. Definitely love, new love showing up here. Doesn't really surprise me. I actually personally believe that Venus is going retrograde. I don't believe that Venus is going retrograde. It is going retrograde on July 22nd or something like that. And it will be going retrograde until September. I know a lot of people will say that, Venus retrograde is not a great time to find love, but that's not actually true. It can be a terrible time to find love, absolutely, Venus retrograde, but there are many stories of people who find the freaking love of their life during Venus retrograde. So it just kind of depends on where you're at and, the situation that you're in. Plus, we have like another month, almost 2 months, before Venus goes retrograde. So now's the time. It could be a fire sign coming in for some of you. With the Eight of Swords, you have the Five of Cups here. Again, this is like what you need to move past right here. These two cards. Even in your next row here, you have this card that says, good luck sometimes comes disguised as bad luck. And so, I feel like you've been feeling like unlucky. I feel a Pisces. Again, obviously I'm a Pisces. Even this morning, I was going to start about an hour ago today, by the way, believe it or not. And there's just been, for no freaking reason, my setup wouldn't work. I literally have just turned it off and on like 20 times. And it took me, I unplugged everything. So it's taken me like 2 hours to get started today. And now it's working. So again, I kind of feel for Pisces that, I think that's very appropriate. You're the first reading I'm doing today. And, it's like, I feel like those, those disappointments have kind of been like stacking up on each other, where it's like, maybe life isn't terrible, but it's like, I know that, if you get one mosquito bite, right, not that big of a deal. But when you get like 100 mosquito bites, it's very, very freaking annoying. So, I kind of have, that's the best way I could describe the feeling I have for you, where it's just like a bunch of little things that are kind of getting to you at the moment. So number one, maybe need to pause and take a deep breath. Like, trust me, I wanted to pick this up and throw it across the room, believe it or not, right? So it was driving me absolutely insane. I have no clue why it didn't work, so, but I just had to take a deep breath and turn it on and off about 100 times, and now it's working. So, there you go. I think that some of you need that. Next, you have this card that says, do not give up because something did not work out right away. And you also have this card that says, good luck sometimes comes disguised as bad luck. I feel like this is something that's already happened. By the way, this is coming up in the area of what you need to know right now. So I feel like definitely critically important that you do not give up. That was literally the first, I got that message basically on that Treasure Island card, and then this card comes up. So, pretty interesting. And what I would also say is I actually feel like now is a lucky time. I feel like you've had a lot of disappointments here, Pisces. You have the Page of Swords, the Four of Cups, which kind of is my card of disappointments. Five of Cups is definitely a card of disappointments. And the Knight of Swords is, that's the card that you have. But the Four of Cups is kind of a card of disappointments because he has, manifested those four cups. Each one of those cups represents something that he has been trying to manifest, but he's got a new opportunity. You can see the hand of God is reaching out right here and offering him a new cup, but he's not accepting it because he feels like he knows where this is going to go. He feels like he knows how something is going to turn out. So I get this energy here in this row of like needing to get back to that Piscean magic, which is kind of like, I call these Tinkerbell readings because it's like if you don't believe in Tinkerbell, right, she disappears. So, I feel for a lot of you, it's like you need to believe in that that magical things can happen. I feel like maybe one too many bad things, and not necessarily bad. Again, to me, it's popping into my head as like mosquito bites, where it's like one, not a big deal, but after 100, it's kind of gotten very itchy, very annoying, in whatever area of your life this is. I have a feeling it's multiple, and because I really feel just, obviously if you got enough mosquito bites, eventually they could suck all your blood out, right? And you would be pretty tired. So I feel like some of you are kind of in that position of, almost being tired, almost being like, okay, I'm done. I have nothing left. And, I really feel this reading is encouraging you because clearly there's going to be some amazing things coming in for you. You have the King of Wands, the Star, the Ace of Pentacles, Eight of Wands, Page of Cups, Knight of Cups, Lovers. These are very good energies, but, I feel if you give up, you're not going to have these experiences. I would be careful of anyone from the past here with the Knight of Swords as well. I don't like the Knight of Swords just in general, usually, and he's running back towards the past. It's like someone could have regrets. They could be in a stuck situation with the Eight of Swords. It's like they want to communicate offer of love, but it's like there's new love coming in. And I feel like this person, it's like they have regrets now, but it's like, I don't know, I feel like that you could have been dealing with someone who made an immature decision or something like that. Pisces definitely could have been an air sign, or it could have been a person who had a lot of air in your chart. I get a lot of coldness here. I feel like this person could have been very cold, ruthless for some of you. And so, for a lot of you, this could be where the disappointment is. It's in love. And, I'm not saying you're giving up, but I feel like you've kind of had one too many mosquitoes and you're just kind of over it. For others, again, I feel like this could definitely be in business as well or work. I always tell a story. I was stuck for about 4 years in my life after a big business failure. And even when I was stuck, like at the beginning of those 4 years, I tried like a million different things to create a business, another one to start all over, right? And it was just like failure after failure after failure. And eventually I got to this point where I just wouldn't even try anything any longer. I would I would think about an idea. I had a lot of brilliant ideas at the time, and I would think about an idea, but then I would think about all the reasons it wouldn't work, and then I just wouldn't do it. And because it's almost like I had tried too many things. But really, when I look back at the time, it wasn't that I wasn't trying. I was trying, but it's like there was a lot of stuff I was missing. There were a lot of things I wasn't doing. There were a lot of things I wasn't paying attention to, and all this other stuff. And it's like all that had to come with experience and age. So it's like now when I try new businesses or new ideas, they're usually much more successful, or when they don't work, I know. And again, I feel like there's something here where it's like you need to realize that you have experience, you have knowledge and wisdom, and so now it's worth trying again, whatever it is that you want to try again, because you're coming at it from a different position. With the Page of Swords, Ten of Wands, it doesn't surprise me, a lot of burdens. I feel like you've been experiencing a lot of burdens and challenges. With the Four of Cups, you have the Eight of Pentacles. It's time to get back to work, basically. I feel like it's time for you to get back to, putting the work in. There's a lot of success here for you, Pisces, but if you don't do it, like if you don't try, you're not going to get there. So, especially for those of you that have a financial idea, I would get to work because, King of Wands, he's literally the entrepreneur of the tarot. You don't have to be an entrepreneur, but you can approach your job entrepreneurially. You can nurture it into existence. That's basically what he represents. And then you have Eight of Pentacles to the Ace of Pentacles. I think something is a much bigger opportunity than you realize here, Pisces. And it could be like a business idea, starting a podcast. It could just be a random idea that you have, whatever it is, I would get moving. With the Knight of Swords, you have the Justice card. Some of you, I feel, again, if you have a person that's rushing back, I kind of feel like you're getting your karma here, or you're seeing this person get their karma, or you're feeling like you are kind of like right in the situation. So, take that for how it resonates. And, I would be careful. I always tell people, like, be careful of getting too caught up in someone getting their karma or whatever. I think it's much, much better to just move on and let the situation go if it didn't work, because it's like, I don't know, my life has taught me just like when things don't work, they're not meant to work the first time. So it's like, there's no point in crying over spilt milk is kind of like what I'm getting at here. I know a lot of people watch tarot because they're, holding on to a past connection or whatever, which I understand. I get it. I understand that it hurts, and, people sometimes are looking for answers and things like that as well. But, it's like in this situation, whatever's going on here, I almost feel if it's a person coming back, it would be better for you just to be like, no, and just move on. Just kind of not like, don't try to get karma. Don't try to get your jib jabs in or anything like that. I would just, kind of like water off a duck's back, right? Something like that. Next, we are going to look at the unexpected. You have this windfall card. Literally, it says, expect a sudden windfall of money or pay raise soon. I'm telling you right now, I didn't even see this card, and what I'm telling you right now is this whole entire reading is giving me money vibes, and it's also saying, but again, this isn't going to just magically happen for you. You're going to have to put the work in, or if you've already done work on like a project or a business or something, then obviously you could be getting something there. You have this transporter card. It says, things will manifest much sooner than you think. We've been talking about this whole entire time. This is an excellent time to travel for work or to refresh your mind. I have a feeling you're going to be thinking a lot about travel over the next, several years, Pisces. I mean, we have Jupiter in Taurus, your third house. Then we're going to have Uranus. And by the way, like after Jupiter and Taurus, then it's going to enter into your fourth house, not next year, but it will next year, but it's going to retrograde back into Taurus, and then the year after, whatever year that is, I don't know. I've lost all sense of time, right? Whatever that year is, 2025, 2024, whatever, or I think next year is 2024. So 2025, Jupiter will enter into Gemini, your fourth house, and then Uranus eventually is going to get there over the next, it's over several years as well. So it's like, it's going to take a long time for it to get there, but I just see a lot, because obviously it has to move through, move through Taurus, finish up there and everything over the next couple of years. But what I would say here is that, I just see a lot of kind of travel opportunities for you, and could be very good for you. There could be a lot of success because of it, because of traveling. It could feel a little inconsistent with Uranus entering into Gemini in the near future as well over the next few years. But like I said, I would definitely look into travel or moving, or if you're thinking about doing those things, it could be very successful for you. You have the Hierophant, the Eight of Wands, and the Ace of Pentacles here. If you want marriage, you have this Bride card right here. And so you could be getting a bride, or you could be the bride, take it how it resonates, but there's definitely love coming in for you. This looks like communication to me, and it looks like a very big opportunity. Again, it might involve travel, and I feel like it feels lucky, is what I would say to you. It definitely feels like a message to me. I mean, in your next row, you have this birds card that says message on it. So clearly, it could be a new person who's communicating with you. It could be a water sign, a Taurus, a fire sign. Aquarius is here, Libra. You basically have everything. So, it could be any sign that's coming in for you. But I also feel there are blessings coming in for you. Clearly, unexpected blessings. You have the Eight of Wands again. I think the more simple, straightforward, to the point you can keep things, the better. This is business, love, pretty much everything. It's going to lead to faster movement. I really see you kind of creating like slip and slides in your life. And, I always talk about this, how I'm a big fan of creating slip and slides in my life, like removing as much resistance and as much restrictions and, anything like that I can do. If there's something I can do to make life easier, I do it. And, the reason is because life isn't easy. It's not meant to be easy, but there are things we can do to simplify and, try to make things easier, right? So as long as we're trying, then usually life becomes easier. And that's what I get here. I also feel like someone could be rushing in with communication here. I feel like you've learned that you don't want to rush in relationships, going up here with the Knight of Swords, because Knight of Swords kind of says, don't rush. And then you have the Justice card. So if you're talking to someone new, I always say justice is like equal give and take, but it might also say in this situation that you give a little, wait for them to give a little to you, and then, kind of go back and forth. You have the Ace of Pentacles, which to me is a card of the path to marriage. And right next to it, you have the Lovers here. So if you want love, this is clearly going to be a very solid connection. Again, I'm telling you right now, if you're working on anything new, if you have any new crazy ideas in business, I feel like there is a lot of success there for you. So, I would do it. With the Hierophant, you have the Knight of Wands here. Yeah, I would be careful of inconsistent energy here. It's like someone I feel like could have kept you stuck. They could have been married or just inconsistent just in general here, Pisces. But, I feel like there's true love coming in for you. This could have messed you up here. If you were dealing with a person who's like inconsistent or just like sneaky. I feel like you've had like a liar, cheater, stealer showing up in your reading for a few weeks now. So, I would say, if, over the last few months or whatever, if you got out of something, that it could have been a liar, cheater, stealer. I feel like you know much more about this. It's like, I always talk to Pisces, and I have a lot of Pisces friends as well. And it's like, I find that Pisces always like knows things, but doubts it. And it's kind of popping into my head. Like if you feel like you know things about a person, I feel like it's like, yes, you know the truth, even if they didn't tell it to you. With the Eight of Wands here, you have the Three of Wands, card of expansion and growth. Also a card that says like, what are you waiting for, Pisces? Even outside of love, going this way, the Page of Cups has that fish in the cup. And I always say that fish represents like a goal, wish, or dream or something that he wants to accomplish, but he needs to grab onto that fish. He needs to make that happen. So it's like, what are you waiting for? With the Ace of Pentacles, yes, you have the Page of Wands. Definitely a new adventure coming in for you here. If this is a person, I feel like they really break you out of your shell here, Pisces, with the Page of Wands, the Knight of Wands, and the King of Wands. Definitely could be a fire sign as well, or a person who is very fiery. Definitely, like it could be, you have a ton of water here. So, it could be like a water sign with a bunch of fire or something like that. You could be a water sign with a bunch of fire. Take it how it resonates. But I also feel like this person breaks you out of your shell a little bit. I feel like they help you kind of just not like worry about, too many things. I don't know how to say it. I don't know how to, I wish I had a good way to verbalize this. I'll tell you, like, I used to work at this pet store and when I was younger, and thank God I worked there, right? Because like I was raised, like the way I was raised, I was like a little goody two shoes when I was like, in very early high school, like my first couple of years in high school. Then I got this job, and it's like working at this pet store. It was almost like working at a restaurant. If you've ever worked at a restaurant, just, foul situations going on left and right? And it's like I owe that place so much because the people there really broke me out of my shell, stopped me from being such a goody two shoes. Where I used to worry about things that just nobody worries about, right? And they broke me out of that, and I kind of feel that here, where it's like there could be a person who, it's like maybe they come in and show you that there are things you just don't need to worry about, and I don't know, it feels good, Pisces. I would go with it, whatever it is. Next, you have this bride card. It says wife, engagement. You have this birds card. It says news and messages on it. So clearly there's a person who wants to communicate with you. I definitely feel there's a person who's very attracted to you here, who wants to wife you up or husband you up or whatever you're into. I don't care. So, go for it, especially if there's a person who wants to communicate. You have the Page of Cups, an admirer, Knight of Cups, Knight in Shining Armor, lovers, love. I mean, there's not much to say here other than, this could be like a true soulmate, true love, the love of your life. I don't know. I would go for it if I were you. I also feel that you're kind of like embarking on this new adventure that's probably is part of a new path. The lovers traditionally was a crossroads. The Knight of Cups, he's kind of like outside of love. He can represent a dream, and all he has to do is plant seeds right here in front of this water, and those seeds will grow. So I feel like it's time for you to start planting seeds, especially in work or business. And you have the Page of Cups again, still same thing, can represent achieving a goal, because that fish could represent like some sort of goal. Obviously, he has to grab onto it. He has to put the work in. It's not something that's going to happen overnight, but if you do, then put in the work, you're going to be successful. With the Page of Cups, you have the Six of Swords. You're definitely moving on from something. I feel like you again, even if you do have a person coming back from the past, I feel like you're completely moved on. Normally in the Six of Swords, the woman, it doesn't even want to focus here, but the woman and the child in the boat, they only have the clothing on their back. They're completely moving on. So I feel like you could be completely shedding your past, and it is popping into my head. I also feel if you're attracting someone new, again, I feel like you need to shed your past and realize that this is a new person, not the same past person. With the Knight of Cups, you have the Nine of Swords. Again, this is coming up in the area of messages for your future self. I forgot to say that, but Nine of Swords says, do not repeat a cycle. So pay attention to cycles. I would be careful of a past person here, and that's kind of like what I'm getting from your future self. And with the Lovers, you have the Queen of Cups. Yes, definitely a divine counterpart coming in for you. Definitely could be a Cancer, Scorpio. Could be a water sign just in general. With, I would say, very fiery connection. It's like weird that there's so much fire here. It could just say that there's, a lot of passion in this connection, or that you're really into each other. I don't know. I would say go for it, Pisces. Let's see here. We're going to pull 5 main themes. You have this eye card. It says psychic abilities. Trust your intuition. Yes, your intuition is definitely guiding you, but I feel like you need to listen to it right now. And stop thinking about all the things that, haven't worked out in the past. You have this chair empty card. It says someone is leaving your life. So, someone could be officially finally leaving your energy. Again, sometimes we go through a breakup. We feel that person's energy. It's like maybe you're finally, it's like maybe you moved on right away, but you kept feeling this person. I feel like you're kind of moving on from the energy there. You have this dog close up. It says pleasure with close friends. I would encourage socializing at this time. There's been some sort of weird energy about like really needing to make sure you're not just like only working, becoming dull and things like that. You have this axe card. It says forces working against you. I feel like you need to get out of your head of thinking that things are against you. Like maybe you feel like the universe is against you, or that there are certain people that are against you, but it just doesn't matter. I feel like you just need to keep working and you'll be fine. You have this flute card. It says disappointments in a friend or a lover. Again, we know there are disappointments here. 5 of Cups, 4 of Cups. I feel like you need to let go of these disappointments because it's like love wants to come in for you clearly, but it's like if you don't let go of the past, then they're not going to come in. You're creating, I feel like you could be creating blockages by, thinking about a past situation. I feel like this is saying like all you have to do is, focus on something new and better. I don't think this past person was very good at all. So, just based off this reading and based off of the past few readings. So, I feel like you were probably, selling yourself short with this person or, I just feel like they weren't giving you the time of day anyway. So, I feel like it's time to move on here, Pisces. But other than that, really good. Again, I would keep things simple, pretty straightforward. So, thank you for being here. Really appreciate it. And definitely enjoy your week.